no.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, freaks and geeks of all ages? Welcome back to UVMTV's Nerds of the Round Table.
Season 2.
No, God.
We're back.
We're just back from break.
Season 2.
Happy
can't
to be
have this argument during the show.
happy to be back. Glad to be here talking about nerd stuff. My name is David. I am joined by a sometimes fantastic panel starring the person next to me.
You can call me TJ.
He's Luke. Wait, did you get a spray tan?
What?
Did you get a spray tan?
No.
No, okay.
I'm Noah.
I was just wondering. That's Noah right
This is
there.
my natural
That's
glow.
Noah, and this is Gina.
Hi guys.
So yeah, for those of you who don't know what we do on this show, basically we just sit around a table and talk about nerd stuff. Can be anything related to the internet, to video games, to movies, to comic books, to Legos, to toys, to collectibles, to whatever. We just talk about it and we have a good old time. So we're gonna get on to the topic of this episode right now. Which one of you two want to start? Because I know you two are kind of tag teaming one big
start.
topic. All right, Luke's gonna talk.
All right, so to start off our second season, I'm going to fight you on
Don't
this.
forget to talk to the corner cameras. We have to do that.
Right,
Let
so
the audience decide.
to start, yeah, vote if this is season 2
or the mid-season premiere.
I'll put a poll on Twitter. We'll see what happens with our 0 followers.
No, we got followers, David. Anyway, so this week we have 2 episodes coming out a week now. So this week we're going to do a Zelda double feature.
What?
Starting this double feature is going to be me talking about all the previous games of the Zelda franchise. And then, looking forward to our next episode, Gina is going to go through Breath of the Wild with us.
So hyped, guys.
So hype.
So yeah, look out for that.
Much good.
So starting out, just kind of to have this discussion on the Zelda franchise, I just kind of wanted to get a grasp of what we all like in the franchise and kind of like some of our memories with it. And because I know Zelda does this thing where it doesn't really like upgrade, kind of like build on a formula. They like change their formula frequently, so which I think is interesting. They do like a side grade. Like they still have like the same basic core, but it always feels like side grades instead of like upgrades. Like instead of adding to the formula, you're like
instead of trying to like really change up the mechanics or like make it that much crisper or whatever, or improve on this style, they change the style of the game. Like you'll have 2 games sometimes or otherwise.
I agree. So yeah, out of that, what do we like the best out of Zelda, and what has been like? What do we think is like a good Zelda game? Let's start with Gina.
I will happily start. I love the Zelda franchise. It is like one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. God, there's so many things I really like about it. I like the open worldness of a lot of the games. Like how there isn't, in a lot of open world games, it's like pure open world, and to the point where like there's almost too.
You're talking about modern sandboxes, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like things like Skyrim and stuff like that. There's a lot. But with Zelda, the world is big and there's a lot to do, but it's not like so big that you get lost in it. Like you're gonna find something to do pretty much wherever you go, but where you go, like there aren't like the map isn't blown out huge. And I really like that. And I love just the style of the characters and how goofy it is, and I love the colors and the style of it, and the adventure feel you get from it is like so pure. It's something you might get like from reading a book, which I really appreciate.
Going on style, what would you say has been your favorite style? Because they change it up quite a bit.
Yeah, Jesus. That's a good question. I like visually or
Yes. Like aesthetic-wise, what has been your favorite looking Zelda game?
Probably, I really liked Twilight Princess, but I'm not gonna say that one because that's kind of more gritty and it's a lot like some other video games.
Honestly, even the HD version was kind of ugly looking, to be honest.
It's a product of its time, but it's not bad.
I mean, I guess, but you know, it was a game that they were working on for a good 5 years. Even if it was coming out on GameCube and Wii, you couldn't make it look a little bit sharper. You know what I mean?
I guess that's fair.
I think I'm torn between probably Skyward Sword and Wind Waker.
I agree.
They're so different. Probably Wind Waker, just because
yes.
It's not necessarily that I like Toon Link the best out of every style of Link, but it's just such a glorious.
No, yeah, I agree.
It really fits like the genre of what it is well, like the Sea Voyage adventure.
What is that art style called? I know Borderlands.
Cell shading.
Cell shaded, yeah. Yeah, that it's just aesthetically pleasing in general because every generation you make it look sharper and sharper. That's why you're able to bring up games like The Walking Dead and Borderlands up to current generation consoles. Because all it takes is a little bit of tweaking to be able to make it look that much nicer.
Yep.
Wind Waker?
And they actually did that for Wind Waker too. They brought it up 2 generations later, and they made it look very nice and pretty.
I mean,
Well,
it didn't even need that HD remake.
It
was
no. Don't
Like,
talk to me about it. Going back to GameCube. Does not look good.
no. I played it like on like my modern television. I'm like, wow, this still looks like stunning. It looks
holds
better
up.
than Twilight
No,
Princess.
listen, GameCube is fun to play on, but nothing looks good on that anymore. I'll say that right now.
The style of it holds up better than something like Twilight Princess holds up.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not trying to be more than it is.
I will agree with you on that. yeah.
It's very pretty, and his eyes are so big and expressive, and it's like
It's beautiful. All right, David, thoughts?
The Zelda game franchise is actually one that I've had issues with, very much so in the past. It very much tries to be an open world game, but I always feel like at the same time it holds your hand. Like I'd much rather prefer an open world sandbox or something like Skyrim or to GTA, as opposed to this open world that sort of has you hitting certain points in order to progress to certain areas.
That's interesting because you guys pretty much like view it the same, but like you like it and you
well,
don't
I mean,
like
like this is the older style of those 3D Zelda games. The 2D Zelda games actually are the ones that I enjoy very much so. So the
All right.
original Legend of Zelda, even though it's hard as balls.
My brother speed runs that game all the time.
Oh,
He would
good-
agree with you wholeheartedly.
Good for you, Luke's brother.
Andrew.
Andrew. I like what is it? A Link Between Worlds. I like A Link to the Past. Those games are a lot sort of more simplistic and therefore sort of easier to access, but it still has a lot of complex systems in them. And it's got a fun little world to explore. It's not too big, but it's not too small either. So I do like the 2D Zelda games a lot better. Like I've been trying to finish Ocarina of Time on my 3DS for the longest time, and it's so cumbersome to try and just sort of plow through because I keep going to these areas where I think, all right, I guess I'll just try to go here because. I mean, I don't play video games every day, so I forget where I'm supposed to be going in a Zelda game, and I don't feel like looking it up every single time because sometimes I don't even know where I'm at. So I'm like, all right, I'll write a opponent in this area. Oh, it's blocked off. I can't go here. Oh, okay, I'll go to the castle. Oh, no way to get to the castle. So it's kind of obnoxious that way.
I will agree that if you're not playing it consistently, it's easy to forget. Like,
Yeah,
It's a very controlled open world.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
very much control, and that's why I'm actually very interested in. We'll get into it later, but the upcoming Zelda game because that looks like I said very heavily. I mean, it'll probably follow similar tropes, but it looks like I think they've even said as much. It's very heavily
They
inspired
said
by
you
Western
could.
RPGs.
They said you could beat the game like in your state, like at the beginning of the game. It would just be very difficult because you don't have all the. Anyway,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, but it's interesting you say that because, again, one of the things I really like about the Zelda games is the fact that, just for me personally, from a gameplay perspective, because I don't play video games that often, that when I do play one, there isn't like infinite things that I can do, and I can't interact with everything.
Right.
So
No,
you
and
like
that's-
that guided aspect.
Yeah, and like there are still side quests you can do and little like secrets you can find, but there aren't so many that I feel like I need to scour every inch of the land.
Well, I mean that is the case with the 2D Zelda games for me. But in those games, they do a much more effective job at being able to sort of give you an idea of where you're supposed to be going and how you're supposed to be going about it. I think maybe that might be because you get a lot more information at the time in terms of how you view the game. You know, you see a lot more of the land. But yeah, it's just I don't know. Those 3D games they don't really work for me. I haven't tried Majora's Mask. I've played a little bit of Wind Waker. Even Wind Waker is like really obnoxiously like taxing on me. Like it takes 15 minutes to get off the first island. What? Really? And there's all this like obnoxious traditional Japanese JRPG narrative that you sort of have to get through because we've got to explain the story, yada yada, which is fine. I'm not necessarily blaming Zelda for that. I mean, I think 90% of games do that. It's just for some reason Zelda just doesn't do it effectively for me. I like the game. I like the characters. I like playing as Ganondorf in Smash Bros. I'll take any of them down.
It's just not your favorite style.
Yeah, no, it's not. The 2D
It's
games are good though.
stylized.
The 2D games are too, and I like the puzzles in the 2D games more. The 3D puzzles can they can F off. I don't care.
Anyway.
All right, Noah, you've been silent this episode.
So unlike me. It's a conundrum that I've run into a few times during this show. I have not, in fact, played the Zelda games. So,
What? I am so. Oh.
I mean,
I'm sure.
I can only really comment on what you've said. And from my understanding of it, it's a game that's geared toward younger folks. I mean, I'm not saying
I don't
older
even
people
know
can
about
play
that.
it, Well, I don't know. It's rated.
If you ever played Twilight Princess, that game's actually pretty creepy.
Well, it's not even the creepiness aspect, just like the
I
way
mean,
that the game.
I don't know. I played it for the first time last year.
Those can be like balls-bustingly hard
I
puzzles.
think it's how like people might say that Pokemon's made for kids, but
that's what I
everyone
meant.
plays
Yeah.
it.
But my point is, because that demographic is in mind, maybe that's why it's because they're trying to give the younger folks have the feel of an open world, but also give them enough structure to be able to beat the game. So it's sort of trying to find the middle ground to meet all the demographics needs, and I think that's a smart thing to do in a game.
Okay.
That makes sense too, since it's coming out of Nintendo, and Nintendo's always been about accessibility for their games. So yeah.
So it's reaching out to everyone who wants to
That's a good
play.
point. We should get Noah. We were saying this the other day when we were talking about. Oh yeah, we'll talk about Zelda. That we need to get Noah to play a Zelda game.
Oh please.
Have we not done that yet?
No, we
No.
haven't.
If I ever get an NES Classic, I will get you to play that.
You should
Don't
get
you worry.
Skyward Sword because you have a Wii.
I have Skyward Sword. It's just not here at school. I should just bring it. Yeah.
I'll know what you guys are talking about. That could be nice.
Skyward Sword. Oh, okay, cool.
Knowledge is power.
Skyward Sword is like viewed as the worst one on the internet.
Well,
I really
on
like
the
it.
Well,
Some
Well, why do
people
you guys
really
talk
don't.
about it so much then?
My brother.
We
likes
all
it. My brother-
personally
it's one of
like
his
it.
favorites.
Well-
It's like his first real Zelda game.
Me
Skyward
too.
Sword.
Me
Yeah.
too.
That's probably,
So
well-
my perception of the game is totally based on how much you guys talk about each one.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, Skyward Sword must be good because you guys talk about it a
To actually
lot.
start wrapping up the combo, but no, yeah, it's.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
Actually, I haven't said what I like about Zelda.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Let
We'll
We gotta
finish
get
up
through
real
this.
quick.
It's all right. We're having fun, Gina. We're having fun.
Luke,
Please
speed
thank-
run this.
Thank you for
Speed
keeping
run
time
it.
for us.
All right,
That's
so
my job now.
I'm gonna speed run my Zelda speech. All right, so I really like Zelda. I didn't get into it from early on. Like I played the original NES one because that's what we had for a while. Then I would rent out Wind Waker from this local video store I had because that was like my early access to it. And I got kind of far in that. I couldn't beat the very first practice dungeon for a while where you had to like sneak around and like those guards would see you. Like they would always catch me and I'm like, no. But then finally I beat it. Anyway, and then I went without Zelda for a long, long, long time. And then when Skyward Sword came out, about 6 months later, I was in this phase where I'm like, I'm gonna play every game that like gets shat on the internet.
Seriously?
So I played like
You
Pokemon
rebel.
Black and White and like stuff like that.
Is that getting Shadow? I thought people liked that game. All right.
A lot of people
That's
don't.
like one of the 2 Pokemon games I own.
Wow. Okay.
I like them.
I like them too.
Someone give that boy a hug.
It's okay, Noah. Anyway, so
Power I wield.
I played Skyward Sword and I like that a lot. And yeah, I'm not the most. I don't have the most experience with the Zelda franchise. Like if we were to like rank how much experience each of us has had, I'd probably be like the one above Noah. But I really like it and I have an appreciation for it. So, but controversial thing, I didn't like Ocarina of Time. I'm sorry.
That's fair. It's hard. I still have a special place in it, like in my heart.
'Cause
for
it was your
It was my first,
yeah.
and it was pretty like at the time, it was good. But I can see going back and playing it how it might be a little arduous. I can't really shed on that.
All right, well, if that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, freaks and geeks of all ages, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of UVMTV's Nerds of the Round Table. If you like what you see here, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, UVMTV. You can leave us a comment in the comment section telling us your thoughts about Zelda and your own history with Zelda. Consider liking the video. Consider us favoriting it. And then if you want to keep up with the show, with what the show does, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at UVMTV Nerds. I am posting updates regularly on what the nerds are up to. Maybe we'll show you a blooper every now and then, some behind the scenes. And if that is it,
Well, as always, feel free to hit us up in a comment or on social media of any suggestions for future episodes. Because we would love to discuss what you want us to. No, you said that they should
All
mention their
right.
favorite
It's
Zelda
good to see
game.
y'all.
so thank you very much
You
for
did
joining
not
us,
just
ladies
say
and
that.
gentlemen, boys and girls, freaks and geeks. I've been David,
I've been TJ.
I've been Noah.
And I've been Dina.
and this has been UVMTV's Nerds of the Round Table. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time, live long and prosper.